Hello peeps, G-Man here. We got a different kind of video for you today, one that I'm very fortunate to be a part of, and I feel very lucky to have the chance to do this. With me today, you all know her from the chats, the many chats she attends. She appears in all of them, as far as I can tell. I have on the line with me today, Cheri Ashton. Hello, Cheri.
G-Man, hi everybody.
How are you doing?
Great. How is everything going there?
Everything's wonderful here. I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me to tell this story. And folks, the reason that Cheri is here, Cheri has had a very personal experience with a scam. Her 71-year-old mother was scammed by a Microsoft tech support scammer. And now I'm just going to turn it over to Cheri and just let her tell the story. So Cheri, it's all yours.
Thanks, G-Man.
Yes, ma'am.
This is what I think it's all about, awareness. My mother, she's a pastor, and she uses her laptop all the time, and she sits in her chair. You know, she retired years ago, and now she's doing her pastoral duties for the church. She sits in her chair in the evenings and she writes her sermons and she writes up her scripts and the bulletins and keeps in touch with her people in her church. And randomly one night about 6 months ago, she got a phone call, and it was Microsoft telling her that her license key was expired. And my mom had no idea, and she was terrified. It was actually a female scammer. I want to immediately say that she was a Rundy, but
go ahead if you want to.
Running through my mind, but my mom had no idea, and she believed her. So she followed her instructions because the woman told her that her files were going to be deleted and her computer was going to stop working. And my mom uses this for church, so she couldn't let that happen. And she let her get remote control, or whatever you call it, of her computer, remote access of her computer. And the woman proceeded to, without my mom knowing, delete all of her sermons, all of our family pictures. Well, she probably used them for something, but my mother was devastated and didn't know that someone wasn't actually fixing her computer. So she calls me up and she said, "My mouse is jiggling all around. I can't do anything, and I'm not even in the same state as my mother." And I was like, "Oh no, what happened?" And I hurried up and went online, Googled everything, realized my mom had let them scam her. Thank God my mother is old school and she doesn't do online banking, doesn't have passwords saved, doesn't use her computer for anything but saving her sermons and things like that, and pictures. So I, amongst looking for what to do to help her, found you guys, all of you scam baiters. First one I saw was Luke, you know, which kind of put a light on things. I was kind of laughing, but then realizing that this was serious. And I called my mom, and my mom got a computer. She had to pay for someone to come out, and they were still logged on or connected or whatever you call it to her computer.
Right.
So mom, it happened on a Thursday. My mom went into church on a Sunday with no sermon, no nothing. And I told her, you know what? Use this as a platform to tell everyone in your congregation about this. So this is my thing now. I am all about not not really recording like most of you guys and putting it on YouTube, which I love you all for doing that. Thank God for you guys. But my thing is getting them on the phone and keeping them on the phone for hours and hours.
There you go.
Hours and hours. And I've this happened about 6 months ago. And for about a good 3 months, I've gone from, well, I'll actually show you a little piece of paper with all the numbers to a bigger piece of paper with all the numbers. No, I had no paper left, so I'm writing on my magazines, to now having a huge notebook with all of the numbers, learning have text. I was calling on my own phone in the beginning, which is terrible, with like *67, and I didn't know that wasn't even good. So now I have text now. I am going to have a VM, and I'm going to waste their time, pay them back for what they did to my mother and a couple other people that I know. So I love you guys. I love everyone that does this. I love the difference and the different personalities and the different techniques everyone uses. Not only is it funny, but the biggest thing is that it is a service, a voluntary service that is just necessary. And thank you guys for being there, because it rose awareness for me, and that's what it's all about. So,
Cheri, I know I can speak for several other scam baiters that I know personally, and speaking for myself also. I do this with the hopes that I can prevent one person from being scammed, and I add a little bit of comedy to it just to keep it interesting. And but the overall goal is to keep someone from being scammed. And unfortunately, what it sounds like to me happened with your mother, and I have several videos where they do this to me. They will delete things off of your computer, and they will take it, and then they're going to charge you $300, $400, $500, $1,000 to give you this stuff back. You pay the money, they'll give it back to you. And it sounds to me like that's what was going to happen to your mother, possibly.
He would have done it too, because this was personal. This was personal.
Exactly.
I mean, that was a low blow. I mean, it's a low blow.
Oh yeah.
For everyone that is a victim, but.
Yeah. And for anybody out there listening and seeing this video, always remember, Microsoft will never call you and tell you your license key expired, because number one, your license key does not expire. They will never call you and tell you that your computer has sent them a warning and there's viruses in it and they need to repair it. Microsoft does not do that. And the same thing with the IRS scam. The IRS will never accept a payment with any type of gift card. It's unheard of. It will never happen. So make yourself aware and make those around you aware. And Cheri, I for one, I appreciate you telling the story, because I'm a firm believer we can't get enough of these stories out there from folks that it has actually happened to, that have experienced the scam firsthand. And unfortunately, your mother had to experience it. And I for one, though, I want to thank you for sharing the story. And I know the viewers will enjoy this too.
Absolutely. Thank you for putting it out there, and to everyone that even wastes a minute of their time. That's all that runs through my head, is that it could have been worse, and they could actually have a victim on the line. They're despicable.
They are. They're nothing but criminals and thieves. That's all they are. And again, Cheri, thank you for telling the story.
You're extremely welcome, and I appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, Cheri, and we will see you soon, okay?
Okay, absolutely. Bye.